Have you ever is placed as an offering to the ancestors? Bread connects the living with the dead and the physical with the divine. Even in ancient Egypt, bread was buried with the dead, not just as food for the afterlife, but as a guide for the soul. The shape and grain used were chosen with great care. In some regions of India, flatbreads like roti are offered to cows before the family eats. The cow is seen as sacred, and feeding her symbolizes humility and alignment with Dharma. In medieval monasteries, monks viewed bread as holy. They fasted on bread and water, believing each crumb contained spiritual truth. Some copied religious texts with crumbs beside them, a quiet reminder of divine sustenance. Throughout Europe, a cross is still carved into the dough before baking, not only for religious reasons, but to release the spirit of the grain. People believed wheat held a soul, and the cut set it free. In Nordic folklore, bread was placed on the windowsill during the Yule season to invite ancestral spirits in. If the bread hardened evenly, it meant the spirits were pleased. Our ancestors also believed bread could heal. In Poland, a piece of bread dipped in salt was placed on the chest of someone ill. It absorbed the sickness and was then buried far from the home. In Romania, bread soaked in milk was given to crying babies, not just to calm them, but to bring them under the protection of family spirits. Even today, grandmothers press warm bread against stomach aches or fevered brows. Science might call it placebo, but belief, that's its own kind of medicine. Want to attract money? There's an old Eastern European ritual. Bake bread with honey and ground cinnamon. As you knead the dough, whisper, "As this bread rises, so rises my fortune." Eat it slowly, thinking only of abundance. Don't share it. It's for your path alone. In Ukraine, a special bread called palyanitsia is baked for celebration and protection. The way the crust cracks is read like a sign. If it splits open perfectly, it means harmony is near. In Jewish tradition, challah is braided not just for beauty, but to represent unity, of time, of people, of purpose. Before eating, a prayer is said to bless the act of nourishment itself. In Armenia, bread is rubbed on the cheeks of newborns to ensure a life filled with abundance. It's soft, symbolic, a first blessing from Earth itself. Bread was also a warning. If your bread refused to rise, it meant someone had cursed your home, or worse, that your own energy was off. Bakers, in fact, were seen as energy workers. They balanced fire and water, earth and air. Some believed they could see a person's future by the way dough responded to their touch. In Sicily, bread baked during thunderstorms was never eaten. It was considered spiritually burned, as lightning and anger were believed to curse the dough. Want to bring harmony into your home? Place a slice of bread under your pillow for 3 nights. Each morning, speak your worries into it. On the 3rd day, bury the bread in the soil and say, "Take from me what does not serve." In Brazil, some families press bread into the forehead of babies to bless them during storms, calming their soul with the spirit of the grain. In Russia, parents hide breadcrumbs in children's clothing before important exams. Bread will remember the knowledge, they say, and it will stay with you. What about love? In rural Greece, women once baked small loaves with rosemary and thyme before confessing feelings to a man. If he ate the bread and returned the plate, love was mutual. If not, the herbs would protect her from heartbreak. In Persian culture, gifting bread was an act of deep affection. Young couples would share lavash as part of a silent promise to nourish one another's soul. In Lithuania, women once baked bread shaped like hearts before weddings. These weren't eaten. They were dried and kept as symbols of fidelity, to be burned together during hard times to rekindle love. At weddings, bread holds deep symbolism. The traditional Slavic karave, a round decorated loaf, is baked with 7 blessings. Each flower or twist represents family, fertility, faith. The bride and groom tear it together. The one with the bigger piece is said to become the head of the household. A playful tradition, yes, but also a sacred omen. In some African cultures, millet bread is broken among elders first, honoring their wisdom before sharing with the younger guests. Bread becomes a chain, linking generation to generation. In rural Italy, the mother of the bride gifts a special pan degli angeli, bread of the angels, to her daughter before the ceremony. It symbolizes divine protection and sweetness in the new union. Even when people were poor, they shared bread, because bread was dignity, no matter how little they had. A crust, a piece, a crumb, it was always split in 2. But it was never wasted. To throw bread away was to spit on life itself. If bread dropped, it was kissed and lifted, not because of germs, but because it held the soul of the earth. Want to know if guests bring good energy? Offer them bread and salt. If they refuse, beware. They may carry envy or darkness. That's why some households sprinkle crumbs near the door after visitors leave, to trap unwanted intentions. Here's a ritual for cleansing negativity. Bake bread with crushed bay leaf and a pinch of black sesame. While mixing, say, "I bake peace into this home." When it's ready, eat a slice with someone you love and burn a piece near an open window. Let the smoke take your troubles out. In the Philippines, people bake pan de sal during difficult times, a bread whose name means bread of salt. It reminds them to stay humble, stay strong, and keep moving forward. In Irish households, a slice of soda bread is placed on the mantle on New Year's Eve to protect the home and call in luck for the year ahead. In times of grief, bread also brings comfort. Some cultures prepare bread in silence. No talking, no distraction. Each movement becomes prayer. Every grain, a memory. Bread was even offered to the spirits on All Souls' Day. People left slices on windowsills hoping the souls of loved ones would come visit, just for a taste, just for one night. Even today, some traditions remain quietly alive. crossing the loaf before cutting, never placing it face down, giving bread to a new neighbor, sharing it with a bird, hiding a piece in your pocket for luck. Simple gestures, but powerful, because bread remembers, and perhaps it also responds. If this video helped you see bread in a new light, if you felt warmth, respect, and the quiet power that this simple food holds, then give this video a like so more people can rediscover the true magic of bread. Subscribe to the channel. There's more to come, more secrets hidden in the everyday. And if we reach 5,000 likes, I'll release a powerful video on how to calculate your personal financial code through numerology and unlock the flow of abundance in your life. Don't forget to leave a comment. How was bread treated in your family? Maybe you have your own superstitions, stories, or rituals. I read every comment. See you soon. And may the bread in your home always be warm, fresh, and magical.